This MuseumConnect video, and part 2 with our artist James Aldridge, is inspired by these wonderful creatures. These are the Great Bustards, part of our natural history collection here at the museum. This taxidermy is on display in this glass cabinet right by the front door of the museum all the time. And they're really important to us because they can tell us something about our past, but they're also connected in a real way to something that's going on right now in the Salisbury area. The hen bird here was said to be the last bustard to be eaten in the Salisbury area, sadly served for dinner by the director of the Salisbury Museum at the time, E.T. Stevens. This speaks to the negative impact that people have had on the natural world around us and the animal species who live here. At the time, bird watchers were just as likely to be carrying a gun as they were to be carrying binoculars, and collecting was a real part of the understanding of the natural world, which led to the extinction of these wonderful birds in this area. The Great Bustards are now on the red list and listed as a vulnerable species world over, so that impact is still being felt today. But these particular specimens here at the museum are connected to a conservation programme to reintroduce the bustards to the Salisbury Plain.
My name's David Waters and I'm the Executive Officer of the Great Bustard Group. Now, the Great Bustard Group's an organisation I formed back in 1997 with the aim to look after and support the interests of the Great Bustard throughout their range, where they are now and where they used to be. But in reality, the greatest part of our work has always been to restore the population of Great Bustards here in Wiltshire. For the first 10 years or so of the project, I was spending a lot of time working in Russia, and this is where we sourced the birds for release here in Wiltshire. But the Salisbury Museum played a very, very important part in to be able to improve this situation. And it was concerning the genetics of the Great Bustards themselves. And it was once believed that the birds in Spain, where over half the world's Great Bustards live, were somehow genetically unsuited to the UK. But I managed to get blood samples from all the living populations, and with the help of the Salisbury Museum and getting access to their wonderful big glass cased Victorian specimens with a small pair of nail scissors and just taking a small piece of skin, we were actually able to demonstrate that the closest living population to the old English indigenous Great Bustards, the ones that used to live on Salisbury Plain, was currently found in Spain. So with that information, we were able to shift most of our field work from Russia to Spain and start collecting eggs there under licence. Quite literally, the project then took off.
Both myself and James Aldridge, the artist who's going to be setting you an activity that you can do at home, inspired by these amazing creatures, were able to go with David onto the Salisbury Plain and see these animals roaming around so close to where we all live. It's incredible to think about what a negative impact that human activity can have on the animal life around us, but also what a positive impact just a small group of people like the Great Bustard Group with a passion can have on conserving that wildlife. In the activity video, you'll be able to do something that gets you to think and look, consider the natural world around you, and use found and recycled materials to create something incredible. You can do this as a group, or as a family, or you could do it just for your own enjoyment. It'll get you to have a little think about the bird species that are around you, and if you're interested in finding out more about the Great Bustards themselves, check out the Wildlife in the Red exhibition on the Wessex Museums Partnership website, where you can take part in polls and find out all sorts of fun facts.